pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right.
Clerk, roll call please.
Annette.
Here.
LaFleur.
Here.
Skelton, yes, and here. Brown.
Yes.
Boone.
Here.
All here.
Has everybody read the minutes from January?
Yeah, I have
Yes.
a couple of things that,
Okay.
during the committee assignment reports, Brown and, Arnett and Brown discussed the wreaths. And Constantine Township did not, what do you say? Support,
Oh, Constantine Township.
Yeah, we were
correct.
not-
We did not do
we
that.
did not head down on,
That's right. The
So-
Wreath Across America did that.
well, it was
Okay.
also Reach Across America and the Falcon Family Involvement Team.
Is that who it was?
Okay. Well, we
And,
didn't have that, cause I had no clue.
Yeah, I thought you could just,
I did.
you were talking about it,
Yeah.
and Aaron and I helped place the wreaths, but we were not
No.
any
it
part of
wasn't.
it,
Okay.
and only to do that, and a lot of
Absolutely.
So we'll correct
volunteers
that.
were there, and then, we didn't need an L in Skelton at the motion by Skelton to adjourn.
Okay.
Skelton? That's all I saw.
Oh, I didn't catch that one.
Okay, I was,
It's okay.
So I guess I, will move to accept the minutes
was correct.
with corrections, yes.
All in favor?
And
Aye. We're done
Um,
with correction. Okay, I did not have an ambulance meeting. I have one next week. Do we have planning, Matt?
We have planning, there's nothing going on right now.
Is he really nothing? Fire board?
Yes, we did. We, Chief Hayden stated that there's not much to talk about with the new fire station. Know that grant money has been, after the Trump took office and signed,
I think, yeah,
but
they
I
put a
think,
freeze on some of that, but I don't, the grant part, we've already received. It's the rural development loan that's the holdup right now.
development loan. Okay,
And the village changed administrative assistants again, so I'm not sure where that's at.
Okay.
and we also went over the budget and we all have that and we will do that.
Okay.
In the truck,
Yeah,
Oh, yes, we
if you wanna talk
discussed
about
the
the
truck.
truck while you're
That's
doing
what
this,
we
you might as well
want.
talk about it now.
We
Do-
wanna
did you bring
No.
that,
how you,
did you bring that, the handout I gave you? You did not, did you?
I brought it with me.
We found a used tanker.
Yes, I do have it.
Okay. We found a used tanker in Canada last Saturday. 4 of us went up and looked at it. We think it'll fit what our needs are. It's $249,000 as opposed to the $360 that we're up to now with the new one. And that would be 22 months out, the new truck, if we ordered it today. So this one has everything on it that we need and is basically same as the truck we're replacing as far as build wise. It has all the equipment on it and would haul all the equipment that we currently haul with ours. It's a 2,900 gallon tanker. The one we have now is 3,000, so it's 100 gallons less, which is not gonna be a big deal. But the hang up with it is, if we purchase this truck, we need to do it by February 28th because of the possibility of tariffs going into effect on March 1st, and it would raise it another $63,000,
63,000? Holy
25% tariff.
Take care of it.
yeah.
So we had our committee meeting tonight before this one, and everybody's okay with it, so we're coming to you presenting that as a option as to buy this truck instead of ordering a new truck.
And that would be, we'd have to pay for it in February. You'd have to have a check to go up.
The village said that they would pay it and then you guys could reimburse them. Because to get it through the tariff, or not tariff, customs,
You need one check.
yes, one check, one tax ID number, and all of that stuff.
Okay.
I have my thing here. The Constantine Township portion would be $112,050.
I think I got that down on my thing already, hang on. Let me see, I think I put it on here, cause I figured out, wasn't it 45% or something like that? I got
Yep, 112.
$112,500,
I got 112,050.
oh, 50,
Yes.
okay. What do you think?
What you doing?
I think we
She
should do it
has-
just cause we save so much money.
She has pictures of it.
Yeah, I saw them on that,
Yeah, I did email it to you, but I
Yeah,
didn't
you
email it to the whole board.
yeah.
And we still need to put the back chevron stuff
Yep,
on it.
we would have, we'll have a little bit of money to spend once we get it back here, because we have to put Chevron, because that's required in the US for fire trucks. And we'll letter it. There is some stuff that we'll transfer from the other truck. There's some fittings and things that we'll need on the new truck, because it has different sizes on the tank. But it's gonna still be quite a bit less.
How old is it? What year is it?
It is the chassis is a 2018. The tank is about, I think he said 6 years old. And everything fire-wise, as far as the gear and everything, and the lights and stuff, is all new. This guy buys used fire trucks or used chassis and refurbishes them and resells them as fire trucks. He's also interested in buying our truck, because he would remount that tank, refurbish it, and remount that on another chassis.
How many miles or hours on the engine?
The miles are 10,000, I don't remember the hours.
Is it
But
a
it-
gas or a diesel?
It's a diesel, it's in a 10-speed. It's not made like our fire trucks are now with the 6-speed. And when you drive it, it'll take some getting used to. I've driven semi-trucks, so I know where it goes through the gears. This one actually goes, when you step on the gas, it goes first, second, third, fourth, it just,
What
It goes right
engine
up.
is it? Is it a-
it's the Detroit diesel.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I think that, should make a motion to,
I will do that. More discussion? I just have one more question. Has the def been deleted or is it still on
No,
there?
it's still a depth.
well, what are you gonna do?
Discussion comes after this.
I don't
Yeah.
know, well, who cares?
So,
Questions?
I'm gonna make a motion, and then if we need more discussion.
okay, what about a second, and then we'll get it.
We will make a motion to purchase the tanker truck for $112,050.
112.50.
Second.
We should have roll call vote for that.
We should. Well, is there any more discussion?
Are you satisfied, Cindy?
Yeah, thanks.
Is it gonna cost more to get it through customs than it will just buying the other one?
That's another thing I should tell you. It's $1,400 to ship it to our door. And that
That's not
includes all the
bad at
custom
all.
paperwork.
That's not bad at all.
Thank you.
Do we need to add that into the motion?
Will there be more money that we need to add later?
At this amount plus,
Do you know what
Shipping.
the date is on the tires,
Whatever
on
our-
the casings, you know,
That's
what
a-
these
our
are?
Tires and rims are brand new.
Just
right,
40%.
it'll be 45%, yeah.
Yes.
It'll be 1,400.
No, I don't need it right now.
Okay. So we can just make it plus the shipping, our part of the shipping.
Shipping. Yeah, 44% or something.
Can I ask another random question?
Sure.
If the Constantine Fire Board is, the fire department goes to like, I think it's Fabius and another one,
It's just
Or-
Florence and
yeah.
us and the village.
is Florence Township and all them chipping into it too, or just
Yeah,
Constantine?
we divide it, there's a division.
Okay, I
The
just,
three of us do it together.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
truck is priced higher than what we're making a motion for.
that's fine, I just wanted to know for my notes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's three of us, so each one has a different percentage.
Any more discussion?
Anything else? satisfied? Okay. Let's take the roll call.
Brown,
Yes.
Coon,
Yes.
Skelton, yes. LaFleur,
Yes.
Arnett.
Yes. Motion passed, all in
I
favor?
have nothing.
Okay.
Good
Did
job.
you, go ahead. Did you talk to Florence yet?
They were ready to order the other one, so
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
sure they'll be happy with
okay.
this.
I'm sure they will.
But I go to Florence and the Village next Monday.
Okay. Okay,
Well, you got our okey dokey.
yeah, okay, so we'll move on from that. You got anything else with the fire board?
No, that's about all we
Yeah,
discussed
just
at
the
the
budget and
fire
truck.
board was the truck and the budget and
No news on the building.
new news.
Okay, recreation?
Nothing new. There's a new person and she's not contacted me. It usually starts in April for the recreation board
Yeah.
to decide on who's gonna get summer money.
Okay. Cemetery, I don't know anything at all about what's, anything, nothing's been said, I haven't had anybody contact me about anything. They are gonna meet Saturday and decide when they're taking the wreaths off, and they'll take the flags off at that time and give them to the Boy Scouts, and they're also gonna pick up the sticks. And Brady wanted to know how they got so lucky, cause they never did that when we were 6. And I told him, because you never left any sticks laying there, so, you know, you should've.
Now, who's doing that?
The Wreath Across America people.
Okay.
Picking up the wreaths, picking up the flags, and they're gonna pick up sticks.
Sticks.
That's
And
nice.
then they give the flags to the Boy Scouts and they destroy them properly.
Oh, okay,
So you know that.
that's nice.
Yeah, 'cause I hadn't heard anything and I noticed they were still down there, so I got a hold of her and that's what she told me. Okay, clerk's report.
I think we have 2 accounts that need attention.
Towards the bottom.
Assessing and taxation expenses. Repairs and maintenance. And assessing and taxation expenses, this I got a large invoice from Kevin Harris, cause he sent out, assessment reports to.
Is that included in this?
That's included in it.
So we should add 4,000 to the 21,000 and make it 25,000.
I would think so.
But that should be it for the year, right? You won't have any more.
No, but what is the BOR for?
Board of review.
Board of review,
Board of review, okay.
Board of appeal, board of review.
Okay.
Okay, so
Add 4,000?
that's what I think.
Okay.
I'll take it to 25, that'll cover that.
And then the other one is repairs and maintenance.
Well, we'll have, what is this? This is February. We'll have one more month of cleaning, so that's another $100.
Mhm.
I think, I don't know of anything else.
And either that's up, like it is because, no, cause that boiler bill came in for that,
Oh, the boiler bill came in,
yeah,
or the generator.
generator.
Yeah, they're slow there. So,
I would add 400.
You won't need any more than that then.
I wouldn't think so.
we're
Um,
5193.
Cover the deficit.
You gotta take it, you gotta add 500 and take it to 5,000 to cover the,
Just make it 500.
yeah. And that will cover that cleaning for next month. Okay,
Okay.
How much is there, Addie?
Just,
it's down here at, repairs and maintenance, 931,
Right.
and $500, make it 5,000. Marcia, we'll get another quarter for the ambulance subsidy, right? We'll get one more invoice for them before a year's up. I think so, because I think it starts in May, it's an off.
It's
Yeah.
kinda off.
I think it's March that we'll get another
We'll
one,
get another one at the end of this month.
at the end of this month, okay. And that should be it for the fiscal year.
Yes.
Then we start another one, is it April first?
Yeah.
I think it's April first. Okay,
So we have to
And then,
vote on that.
well, that, yeah, we'll do that with the budget, but just for this year. So I just wanna make sure we're gonna, it looks like we'll be in budget. Okay. Is there a motion to add $4,000 to assessing and taxation expenses to make it $25,000 and $500 to 931 repairs and maintenance to make it $5,000 to our budget?
So moved. Support.
Brown,
Yes.
Coombs,
Yes.
Gilpin, yes. North,
Yes.
Burnett,
Yes.
motion passed 5-0.
Is there any more questions on this budget? You guys have any questions on it?
Profit loss.
Yeah. Okay, no more questions, go ahead. Marcia.
Okay. The expenses, the checks that need to be signed, approved. On your report, there is one check that it printed out just fine, it's in the check register on QuickBooks, it is not on this report.
Oh, shoot.
And it's a $60 check, so the total amount is $30,791.31.
What, Byler came and we had some electric issues?
They checked the generator.
They checked the
And they just
generator,
now
okay.
billed us for it.
According to the bill, they fixed it, and it's working properly.
He told me it only does a little bit of the building, so I don't know what
Oh.
it's attached to, I'm thinking the safe.
Oh, shoot.
It's
To
probably-
keep the.
Yeah, that's what I think, but he told me it wasn't, then he wanted to give me a price for new, and I said, we really don't wanna do that.
No.
We just wanted to know about it, if it worked, and,
Right. 'cause-
Everything.
And the reason why I wanted to is, I have that form to fill out for, the election building and stuff,
mhm.
and if there is a backup generator, you have to put it in.
Well, that's what he told me about it.
So that's good to know that,
It
I
might do
don't
something.
think it's,
And he said it's
It's
not
really-
full, yeah,
so I won't even include it
yeah, that's what he told me.
for, okay. Any questions on the bills?
And why do we remind me why we had to pay the St. Joseph County clerk? That was because they compared
That's
things.
a quarterly, early voting.
That person.
That's right, they broke it up.
And they did estimate it about $2,500 a quarter, and
So it's down a little bit.
it's been down, I mean, the quarter that we did when we had an election was like $300.
Yeah, it's better.
I'm pretty happy with it.
Okay. Stupid.
Is there a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, pay the bills. Aye.
Is that
Oh,
show
aye.
the additional $60 that wasn't showing up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that for a planning commission?
yeah, it was a meeting, planning commission meeting, yeah, it was.
I do. I had a, meeting in Centerville on the 31st, clerk's meeting, and that was to sign agreements to do school consolidations between the different clerks. There is a White Pigeon school election, I believe, in May. So I will have election hours.
Yep.
But I will have a few absentee ballots to send out, but I do not have to have anything else. I mean, I will be here election day, but I don't know much.
Did you run one before?
When White Pigeon,
I mean, when, yeah,
no,
was it, who was it before? Okay.
I ran for school when Constantine had one.
Oh, I was thinking you had to be here for something.
Oh, I have to, yeah, you have to have Saturday hours for registration, and you have to have election hours on election day.
Okay.
I have an election audit on Friday for the November election.
What are they auditing?
The county's coming in and auditing precinct 1 and precinct 2.
From your last election?
Yes.
So how do they do that?
I don't know, I've never done one.
Me either,
Well, they come, she comes in, or, she
She said that all we do is have to look at all the paperwork that, you're supposed to have. Do you have
keep
it?
on file here, yeah.
And, they will check the ballots, and they will check that the no votes and yes votes for any proposals.
Such fun.
I've never done it before. And I asked her if I should have my deputies here, and she goes, that's up to you, it takes 1 to 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, now if it was a state one, I'd say you better have them and your chairs there. And
I did one, and I don't
Plan.
remember which hours.
plan a day.
Is that it?
That's it,
All right,
I think that's enough.
city's turn. How's it going, city?
And a really funny one, but since we're being recorded, I'm not gonna tell it. Off the record, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll be here Friday. Friday is the last day to pay without penalty, and I will be here from 1 to 5. It's not a mandated day, but I will be
Okay, I
here.
think I put 1 to 4 on.
1 to 4, that's correct. Yes, 1 to 4.
My audit's at 9 in the morning, so we should be done by then.
Okay.
I had a lady come in today with cash, and I told her she had to come back when you were here, because I didn't wanna take it, I don't have a receipt for her or anything, I explained it to her. Actually, there was the whole family, and so they said they'd come back when you're here Friday.
Okay.
But then you are collecting on the 28th, right?
All day. That's state mandated. All day.
February 28th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I was here this past Saturday from 9 to noon. There was a few. It wasn't crazy busy. A few people came in. And I don't have anything else.
Okay, hang on just a second, I'm done. All right, I got lots. Thank you. Okay, first thing is grant for residents. I don't know if you guys saw it, I don't know how many of you have Facebook, but the village has agreed to apply for a grant that they would get that, residents could apply for to help them with their homes at certain, income levels. And it's through the Michigan Housing, MISHDA. And so I've kind of been looking into it, cause we could do that too, we could get that grant through us. And they could get like up to $200,000.
Oh my gosh.
The highest you can give somebody is $40,000, but 25 is what they like, from everything I've read. Cause Clayton, hasn't got back to me, I asked him to come in March to talk to us about it. And they do have a meeting on it, but it's the day of my board of review. so I can't go to the meeting. Actually, today at everybody's board of review for townships, so I'm really interested if they don't change it, because who, you know, that's who it's for. Anyway, I thought we could look into that. I had somebody already ask me about it, but if that's something we could get and do for our residents, I definitely think that's something we should do to help them.
The new fiscal year for that starts in October.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least that's what he said at the Cut Village meeting.
Yeah, you were there, yeah,
Yeah.
you can help me with that. Okay, so anyway, I have some paperwork on it, I brought it if you guys wanna look at it. And then Eagle View, I'm gonna blow this, I know. Eagle View is this, imagery that they get from, like, you get, how am I gonna explain it? Like you get when somebody comes over your house and takes pictures of it and they come to your door. Okay, so that's what Eagle View is. And the county wants to know if we wanna participate in it for zoning and appraising. And I talked to Doug and he doesn't want to, which is okay with me because you have to pay for your part of it. And it's $1,000 a year, $1,017.58, I believe, for 6 years in a row.
Oh, wow.
And then you sign into it and you can use it, you know, to look at different plots of land and that kind of thing. So I talked to Doug a couple times today and he said he is not interested in using that. And since Kevin is not our employee, he's a subcontractor, if he wanted that, he could do that on his own.
On his own.
Is that what you guys agree with me on that one?
That's correct, he's contract.
Yeah, cause Doug doesn't want it $6,000, you know, so how do you feel about that? I mean, that's what I thought, that's why I asked him,
Don't we
because
have fetch still?
he uses that, but this is a new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he uses that, he told me that today. But instead of paying all that money, if he's not gonna use it, why would we do it? You know, and I'm sure that later on, if that's something we wanted to be a part of, we could become a part of it. But I just got that letter and he explained that in the letter. And then, okay, so you guys are in agreement that we'll just not gonna do that?
Who's all doing it?
Well, I don't know, cause every township, he sent it to every single township in every village, so I don't know who's all gonna do it. But that, our part of it, if we did it, would be that amount. And then,
I don't know.
it is a lot of money. I mean, if you're gonna use it, I could see Sturgis and Rivers, bigger towns using it, you know, if they have people in-house that do that. But when Doug said he wasn't gonna use it, I thought, well, then why would we get it, cause I'm not gonna use it, you know. You guys probably aren't.
We have to have somebody monitor it, if Doug doesn't wanna monitor it, it falls on you, I guess.
Well, yeah, somebody would have to, or you'd have to pay somebody to do that.
Mhm.
The resolution for the master plan, I put it in your packets.
It's here. I saw it.
Hang on, I need it, it's right there. Okay, just the resolution, because you know we're doing the master plan with the county. It's kind of been a nightmare the last week because they told Doug that we decided to opt out of it. Yeah, and so I sent Doug my emails that I sent to Patrick that had my signature on the contract and also the one that said, yeah, we wanna do this. And so he talked to them about it, and that includes all this other stuff I have here. And, they said, oh yeah, we do, we are included in it. Cause he told them we weren't, and then I was like, oh geez. So along with that, I got this letter from Doug today about this whole thing, it's 13 pages long. And, he sent them a letter because if you read this contract, to make the short of it, is if they didn't come here and do private, you know, come into the township board and do meetings with us about it, then it's supposed to be $3,000. And they're charging everybody $5,000. And so Doug went through and wrote this whole letter to them about it and said, look, no, you know, the 3 townships that I know that are involved in it, didn't have anybody do any private meetings with you, and so it should be $3,000 instead of $5,000, and I think that's what you should charge them, and anybody you already paid you $5,000, you should give them $2,000 back. You know Doug. Anyway, so he sent this all to me, today, and I read it all, and it sounds really good, and we'll see what happens. We have not been billed for that yet, so we're looking at $3,000 instead of $5,000. And they are that's the whole of it, and then he needs this resolution done, so. It's the Constantine Township Master Plan element
That's gonna be resolution number 1 of 2025.
1 of 2025,
Yeah, we haven't done one yet.
okay? We should move to accept this resolution for the Constantine Township Master Plan element.
So moved.
So moved?
And
Okay.
I think we should, this is something you have to have.
Yeah,
so
we have to do
you
it,
have to
so. You can just probably sign
Okay.
it.
For it.
Yeah, you have to say who's here tonight, everybody's name.
Yeah, and Jen, you can just email it to Doug. You can just scan it and email it to him.
Okay.
Okay,
I can do that. Is this something you have, that he emailed to you? I can,
yeah, he emailed it to me.
is it a PDF, you know, or is it one that I can,
I think it's a PDF.
then I can't do that?
Right, you can't, you'll have to do it anyway, we need our copy. But, so. All in favor? All in favor of this?
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, we'll do it. Alright, there's that. Grant for residents, resolution, we did that, okay, and so then we have to, we have to do the ordinance for the short-term rentals and the text amendments again, because he's not sure that Roxanne put it in the paper and he can't get a hold of her.
Miss Roxanne anyway,
I don't know.
Some and some I don't.
I don't know what's going on, he told me something's going on, anyway,
Well,
'cause
the
I
last-
asked him.
It's just the last bill that I got didn't have Seaver on it. And
Oh, really?
It also didn't have one that starts with a K, it wasn't coffee.
There's a K.
Keeler?
K-O-E something.
Oh, 'cause I go by their building every time I go up in that area. So anyway, he called her to ask her because we hadn't got anything about it being published. That's what it's all about, we have to do it again. So now he said he would publish it himself if she says he's gonna keep after her. And so we don't have to do it again, but tonight we're gonna have to accept this ordinance again for him to do that.
And that was 63, and 64.
63 and 64.
I just read those motions off. of
Where are
the-
they? And you
They
left them.
weren't highlighted.
Yeah, you gave them to me, they're probably here somewhere, right there. Okay. Motion to approve ordinance number 63, an ordinance to address short-term rentals of single-family dwellings in Constantine Township to address health, safety, and welfare of the community supported in the community. Okay, so I'll move that we can do this, and then we can have a second, and then we'll approve it again. Okay. And then
Roll call.
Yeah.
Brown,
Yes.
Coon,
Yes.
Skelton, yes. LaFleur, Arnett,
yes, motion passed.
motion passed 5.
Okay, and then the other one is ordinance number 64, zoning ordinance text amendments of definitions for ordinance number 63, short-term rentals. So I'll move to pass this ordinance.
I'll second.
Brown,
Yes.
Coon,
Yes.
Skelton, yes. LaFleur,
Yes.
Arnett.
Yes, motion passed. Okay, I think that's everything I have. I'm trying, yep, I don't have anything else written down, so let's go, before, we're gonna do the budget, but I think we'll do audience participation first, so if anybody wants to say anything and leave before we do the budget, you can. So, and Jack,
I think everybody was here when we had our, well,
when we talked about it,
yeah,
yeah,
Okay.
is Cindy here?
Cindy.
I don't think Cindy heard.
Okay, I attended the Southwest, County Road Association conference on Monday, and there's some things coming down about some road funding, but the one I, talked about, and I did a social media post on, is, this year, it's going to cost us money to trim and, spray the roads like we always have, you know, the brush, get it back, and it's to protect the monarch butterfly. I had asked how that money is going to be spent to help protect the butterfly. They didn't have an answer. So then I asked, where is that money going? It's going to the University of Illinois in Chicago. So I'm not a big fan of it. The big plant is the milkweed. Butterflies love milkweed. And so I said, we're doing the butterflies a favor by cutting down the milkweed, because then they won't go near the road to eat it and get splattered by windshields. So I think we're doing a service to the butterfly by cutting down the milkweed near the roads. But there'll be, the County Road Association is pushing the current legislatures to do some really strange road funding that a lot of it I don't agree with it. They're trying to go by a per mile usage is what they're pushing the legislature for. What's that mean? They don't even know. They've talked about things about having GPS tracking units to registering your odometer every year when you register your vehicle, and then paying as part of a registration fee. So those are some of the things they're talking about. All of the solutions that they've come up with, none of it, all of them exempt out-of-state drivers. They wouldn't pay it. They haven't, in my opinion, the County Road Association, in their lobbying, the senators and representatives in Lansing haven't really thought this through. So they're shocked. Yeah. They asked me what my solution would be, because a lot of this is stemming from electric vehicles making it onto the roadway. But right now, as we sit, I think it's 1.9% of the vehicles on Michigan roadways are electric. I don't see it increasing much. Me personally, I don't think it's gonna increase all that much and all that rapidly. But that's what's stemming a lot of this. So, any questions for me on what I've encountered? Okay. Marcia, I hope you feel better.
Well, thank you. Actually, I don't feel bad, it's just a cough.
Okay. And I'm sorry it's been so long since I've attended one of your township meetings. I'll try to make it more regularly. Marty, will you please tell Mark I said hi?
I will.
Aaron always. I see you the most.
Yeah, you do.
Well, no, actually I see Max the most.
Well, if you quit speeding in town, you won't have that problem.
That's not what I'm doing.
That's a problem.
Although we were coming from a meeting and I got distracted and I ran a red light while he was right behind me, so that was pretty embarrassing. He like sends me a text, your ticket's in the mail. I'm out of your jurisdiction. All of a
I have
sudden,
a personal car. Let's make that clear.
right? Actually, your oath does not extend it to a regular car. You know, you can write a speeding ticket even if you're in your personal car.
Out of my jurisdiction.
That was out of your jurisdiction, but.
No, that's what you're wanting to do in your personal car.
Yeah, I wouldn't be pulling over. I'd be out running that Tesla, I'll guarantee you that. Well, it was really good to see you guys, thank
Yeah,
you.
we appreciate you, Jack, thanks
Yeah.
for coming.
And on a side note, off the record, I mean, you got $100,000 for a tanker, you got $100,000 for roads, right?
No.
No,
I'm just kidding.
we may have had.
No,
but not
I'm
now.
kidding.
If you go to Canada and figure out how they do their roads, they're much better than down here.
Yeah, we're gonna plant milkweed.
I'll tell you what, if you wanna pay the taxes that Canadians pay, we'll have those kind of roads too.
Yeah.
Alright, thanks, have a good day.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jack.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Jeff.
good seeing you.
Anything for you?
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything?
No, nothing to
Okay.
bring down. I mean, nothing that affects you guys.
Mike, you wanna go over this budget with us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you might as well do that before we go over our budget.
Can I say something?
Yeah, you
Oh.
can say something. I'm sorry, Paige, I just take for granted you're gonna tell me.
Oh, yeah. I actually have a couple questions. What
Okay.
paper do you guys post your ordinances after they've been approved?
Well, evidently, Roxanne was posting them in the Sturgis Sentinel. Are you familiar with that? Cause I never heard it before today.
I've never heard of it either.
Well,
There-
evidently, the
there's-
Three Rivers Commercial Paper has made one in Sturgis, it's not the Sturgis Journal.
Okay.
So he told me that's where she's been posting them, so that's why I don't see it, cause I do Three Rivers and Sturgis, I can see them. So I would say we would put it in the Sturgis Journal, because it goes every day.
Okay.
You know,
Goes like 4 days a week.
Sturgis Journal's every day, but the local stuff is only 4 days a week.
But they are required to put them online.
Yeah,
And I
So-
have been looking, I haven't seen a single thing.
See you guys.
Bye.
See you later.
so that's where we would do it, but that's, yeah.
Do you know if the village gets the Sturgis Sentinel?
I'll find out next time I'm in.
They post their stuff in Three Rivers and
Correct.
Sturgis, cause I've seen it.
Right,
We
but
need to
the,
put
I haven't seen the
village-
newspaper there in a minute, but I also haven't been looking for one.
we
the
have the
village always
designation
gets-
thing.
Yeah, we do,
Most of
and
the
it's
local
Sturgis and Three
papers.
Rivers
Mhm.
Journal,
Yeah, journals.
cause I never even knew of this other paper until he told me today.
Okay, well.
And he said that's why he doesn't get it either.
She
so-
should have been posting it in those two because that's not our jurisdiction,
Right.
who we designated.
Right, so, he will make sure it gets posted in the journal, I will make sure I tell him.
Okay. Has any more information came about the flood plain
Not
thing?
a word.
You know what I'm trying to ask. I
Yes,
can't
I
think
do, and not a
Yeah,
word.
I don't think you'll hear much about
I don't
that
either,
for
I
a
think
while.
they're gonna let that pass. That's why they didn't have a meeting, they had like an open house where you could come and talk to them. And they talked about having meetings at each township and stuff, but I haven't heard a word from them. I haven't got my maps, nothing.
Looking on your agenda, why do you guys not have a spot to approve the agenda?
Because we don't approve our agenda, we don't have to.
Okay. And I also want to know what a treasurer's report is and not a treasurer's report.
Well, probably because it's spelled wrong, is it?
Yes.
That might be why. Let me see it, yeah, I didn't catch it either.
No, that one, yeah, I forgot that one, I did see that.
Did you see the treasurer's
But
report?
we were talking about minutes, not this, I guess.
Okay. That's why,
And the grant you were talking about for the residents.
the Mishta.
Yes, they have currently, is what he said at the village meeting, they have $11 million.
Yes,
And they're pushing to get rid of it, is what he said.
yeah.
But he also said the fiscal year starts again in October for that, and they're not sure if they're renewing it. He
Oh.
said they're talking about it, but if they can't get rid of this money, they don't plan on renewing it.
So,
So-
who is he?
Clayton was.
Clayton, I
Oh.
can't think of his last name.
And
Lizinski.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
do know
that's his
the
name.
village,
Insurance?
The village opted
Yes.
into it.
But he's part of this, he
but
does
Yeah.
this.
also, it's a lot of paperwork
Yes.
for the village,
But
paperwork for the village.
he also said that that department is paying somebody to do the paperwork.
Okay,
Well, some of it I read that, or through that whole thing, and some of it has to be reimbursed, and some of it has to be paid
Yes.
back, and there's a
Mhm.
lot to it, so before anybody gets involved with it and thinks they're getting free money, I really want them to know
Yeah.
exactly what they're getting.
I say Constantine just went ahead and approved it that
I
night.
know, I
So
read it though, cause he didn't get back to me, and I thought, well, I gotta read this before I say anything, and there's a lot to it, I mean, they have a lien on your house for like 4 years.
yep,
and
4 years, and
all
if
kinds of stuff.
you sell it within that 4 years, you have to pay.
You
That
do.
person has to pay that money back.
Right. So, there's just a lot to it, and there's 3 levels of income,
Yes.
and you're like, okay, so who gets what? There's a lot to it, but if we could do it, and people could use it, that's something we
Yeah.
definitely.
If they said if you make under $50,000 now, you're considered low income.
Yeah, that's probably true. I imagine. Yeah. Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, Mike, you wanna go over this budget? Do you have one with you, or?
I don't have one with me, but I can answer questions about it.
Okay. You know what the main question is? Oh my gosh. So, what is the main, oh, I gotta look through this a little bit. It looks like just everything has gone up.
Well, the thing that really struck me the most is our insurance.
Yes.
Well, that struck me the most when I saw your bill for this one too.
And my understanding is that insurance went up across the board for everybody. I know my personal did. But the new fire truck that we bought, our policy increased, the fire department's portion, increased like $5,400 just for that truck. Because they now insure them based on value and replacement cost and everything else. So I'm sure when we replace an '89 truck with a 2018, it's gonna go up again.
Do you shop insurance? Is
I
there
don't know
enough
if they do or
insurances
not.
to shop for that?
I don't know if they do or not. I would hope they would.
Who does
It's the
it?
village
The
policy.
village does it. The Horton Group.
Mhm.
They used to use Decker. And
Yeah,
I don't know why Mark.
That was my question, is can't you shop for cheaper insurance before your policy renews?
Yeah.
And he said that they looked at others and it was about the same, so I don't know what that meant.
Yeah, cause I always shop insurance, about every 2 years or so with my business. Just because I've done really well by doing it, you know, and if you're not doing well,
That
and
and
you
the-
don't wanna change usually the people you're with, it
Right.
gets them on ball, they start doing their job better.
Mhm. Yeah, so that, the fire was one of the higher ones that went up, that and the police, I guess. So their vehicles, they just replaced a couple also and bought newer ones, so. Between that and the wages I did a 5% across the board increase for the firefighters and both daytime and on-call. And then the, price of our fire gear, the coat and the pants, went up quite a bit too.
Yeah,
So, and we need to replace 3 sets this year as opposed to the 2 we did have done in the past. Cause every 10 years it has to be replaced. We have 3 of them that need to be replaced this year in '25.
and your inland marine, is that's
That's the li-
everything, like, it's not the trucks, it's all your equipment?
Well, it's both. It's the liability, I didn't think it included the trucks, but when I talked to Jody, it did. It includes the, liability, the inland marine, and the apparatus. And that's only one payment. There was another payment earlier in the year.
Right, but I don't get that, because ours is, we have inland marine too, but our vehicles are not included, they're insured by the vehicle insurance.
They are, but it's all from the same company.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. So this is liability, vehicle, inland marine all together for $7,278?
That's the increase. 17,000 was what they made the payment. Are you looking at the fire or the EMS?
EMS division. But that's, so you have it separate between the EMS,
The fire is probably higher because it includes the vehicles. The EMS would only be only liability and inland marine.
okay, so all of your insurance other than workman's comp is here together.
Yes.
Okay, that answers my question better. I was gonna say, geez, inland marine's got me. Okay. And the difference is $15,000.
Yes.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
I went back and looked, and that's probably double any other increase we've ever had.
Yeah, I feel you, I have a big increase. I can't believe how much money we're paying for insurance now, we don't even have a property. And it's only like $5,000 less, when we had all that property and all that stuff. All of that, we're down to, and it's astronomical. So it's time for me to look down, but yeah,
I just switched this year, so.
did you? I'm thinking about it. Okay, I guess that's it. You guys have questions?
I know.
I didn't know that enough fire trucks
So the
It
new
is what
fire,
it is.
new equipment apparatus, that's $10,000 more, but that's not on there anymore, cause we're buying that truck, right?
Say that again?
You've got the fire new equipment apparatus for $360,000?
Yeah, that'll go away.
That's not on there anymore.
We're paying building usage / maintenance on that old building, $8,000 a year. How long have we been doing that?
Forever.
Forever.
Even though we know we're gonna, yeah, so what are they doing with that money, cause, I mean, I feel like we're throwing money into something that's gonna get hazed or tore down.
Yes. What are they doing with that money?
Yeah, cause we're not making repairs because it's not structurally
We
sound.
had, actually,
Yeah,
I
we
had to make
are.
repairs last year,
Okay.
because the
Well, you
roof was
gotta
leaking
keep it
again, and we had to patch it up again.
Right.
We had to cover some of the brick in the front that was, where it was falling out. We had to tuck point that, because it's gonna be, they're saying if everything goes well and everything gets funded, it would be spring of this year, or I'm sorry, fall of this year or spring of '26 before they start building. So,
But you do have to
If
keep
it's-
repairs on this building to,
Is the roof still leaking?
well,
Or did you
we've
put
got
that-
one more spot, well, actually two spots that we found since the snow started melting, that's still leaking, but I thought I had them pretty much taken care of in the fall.
you putting rubber roof on it, or?
You know
Rubber
you've
roof,
been,
flex seal.
been fighting it for,
How long will it take them to build your building?
They say, 6 to 8 months once they start building.
What's
Are they gonna
happening
tear
with the
that
old
DNS down? Are they tearing DNS down soon?
Yes. Well, I think in the spring he's talking about doing it,
Yeah,
because they're gonna use whatever's left over of that ARPA money that they had to raise the building down there.
What's gonna happen with the old fire department?
I don't think they've decided yet.
I'll ask at the village meeting.
any more questions for him?
You got the updated one with the sick time increase?
Yeah.
I would like more.
I'm so glad I'm out of business, that would've killed me.
Yeah.
Well, we have to do it for the on-call, and I don't know when they're gonna use it. Pager goes off, I feel like being sick, chief. I don't know how it's gonna work.
Yeah, my daughter's really happy about that. She was telling me about it, and I looked there and said, you know, if we were, I said, I can't help it, I think it's good. It's probably really good for people that work, but for employers and people in businesses, especially small businesses, it's hard. It's gonna be hard for them.
Yeah, 10 or more employees, you have 10 or more.
And we had 12.
I just thought places will probably cut people to get under that number.
Oh, no, if you have 10, you pay 40 hours. If you have more than 10, you pay 72 hours. If you have one, you have to pay them sick time. They took that was in the part that the state did, that, whatever's in effect now, but the one that passed, the one that starts February 21st, basically on the labor board's website, it said if you get a W-2, you get sick time,
Yep,
period.
Wow.
yeah.
I didn't see, did they determine the amount of hours?
1 hour for every 30 hours worked. So for our volunteer guys, it'll be December before they get
I was
30
gonna
hours.
say, they're gonna have an hour.
But it carries over till next year.
Indefinitely, right? They
Indefinitely,
can carry-
yeah.
yeah.
And that part is really bad too, I can't help it, I just.
And you cannot pay it out.
Yeah, it's just. And it's gonna be, we already have enough problems with having enough people to work at these jobs. And now they're gonna have extra sick time and you know they're gonna take it, I mean, who wouldn't? And so it's just, it's a bad deal, I'm sorry, it's just a bad
You
deal.
can't ask them, and if you require them to bring in a note after 3 days, you have to pay their copay and anything that goes out of them going to the doctor to get that.
Oops.
And you can also use it, like, I can use it to take my son
Yep.
to their dentist appointment, or to their doctor's appointments, or
Mhm.
my dad has been in and out of the hospital.
Yep.
And I got paid nothing, so I'm pretty grateful for
Well,
it.
I imagine,
Yeah.
yeah. And there are
And-
things that you need to do,
Yeah,
And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing,
right?
it's just the way it's got, they did not consider everything. Because
No, I just-
volunteer
like I said, for
firefighters, the
people-
reserves at the police department,
Right.
they don't work a scheduled shift,
No,
so how are you gonna use it?
I don't know.
well, we get W-2s here, so.
Well,
You're an
Yeah,
elected
but we're-
official.
We get W-2s.
You talk to the people.
but also, we're salaried, it doesn't matter if we're
Yeah.
sick or not.
Yeah, commissioners, elected officials and things like that, that were, just get the meeting pay, they were exempt. That was one of the things they did exempt.
Well, and you know, like, my friend who works, that's been my friend since we were kids, she works at Armstrong's, they already get 5 days of sick pay, you know, every year, but now it's, she said, they have 300 employees. Yeah, it's just, it's good, but it's, yeah, I don't know, we'll see how it all works out. Those kids at McDonald's that work 30 hours, they're gonna have an hour sick pay for every 30 hours. Oh,
It's only
okay.
about 4 hours a month though.
Huh?
Only about 4 hours a month.
Well, they probably take that off anyway.
Yeah, most people are already taking the time off.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
don't get paid for it.
Right,
Right.
that's true,
So,
yeah. So, okay. All right, should we move on? Is everybody good with the fire budget? You see it, you got any more questions?
Yeah.
You did,
Okay, Max, you all right with it?
you're up to the vision.
Okay,
Sorry, Mike, is training gonna go up significantly with fire stuff,
Is training going up?
just with the amount of hours? And
So we're required to do 12 hours a year, continuing ed, and the training that we do every Monday, or 2 Mondays a month, counts towards that, as long as it's towards a firefighter 1-2 topic. So, then if you're a instructor, you have to have more hours. Administrative, like I have to have an additional 4 hours in management type classes, things like that, so. But that started in 1922.
If a fire call goes out, does the fire chief still get paid no matter if he goes on it or not?
I get paid a salary for administrative duties, and then I get paid per hour, just like the fireman on call.
Okay, so you don't get, like, if you don't go on a call, do you still get paid if your firefighters go out?
No,
Okay,
only if I go.
I know townships that do that,
really?
yes.
did you get your 6 PM tone today?
I did.
Did you notice it started back up? Did you hear the story? The alarm clock had, got turned off, so people forgot. Yeah,
What
but
was the accident out on North River?
Hmm?
What was the accident out on North River Saturday?
An accident.
I know. Right in front of my house.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on, let's do the budget. Let's go over the
Thank
income first.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
good job on the truck.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give you kudos for that. Okay, Cindy, I got a question before we start. Do you have any idea what our total in taxes will be, we'll get for property tax, or is that not something you do?
I don't have an estimated total.
Okay,
I don't know if I should, or
Okay.
where I could get the information,
that's
But
fine,
but I don't know.
cause I just have,
Cause
I
not
don't,
everybody pays, so everything that goes into delinquent, then eventually gets paid by the county.
right,
So there should be a number, yeah.
well, I
It
have
used to be
220.
in the back of the tax bill.
It's a good idea. I'll go look.
Okay,
Can I ask another stupid question?
sure,
Do you guys have a building authority?
no, a building authority, like we have the zoning board,
No, it's a completely different board that is required by state law.
or,
So basically, if the township, like, let's say you guys wanted to build a new township building,
Oh, then we'd have to have a building authority.
Correct. Or if you want, like the township, let's say you guys were in charge of the fire department building a new one,
Yeah.
the township building authority would have to
Right.
do that. So
We're
you guys
not
don't have one?
We don't have one because we don't have
the
anything like it.
Fire department, our fire department is set
The
up
village.
between the village and two townships.
Yeah. I was just using it as a
Right.
hypothetical.
And I'm not so sure we have to have a building authority
Even if-
unless we're planning on doing something, and
Right.
then one needs to probably be established.
Because what I was informed was they're required to have one even if they don't meet in case something comes up. Because I was just put on that board in White Pigeon, and that's
Oh,
what
so
I
they
was
have
told.
one in White Pigeon Township or village?
Yeah, township.
Good for you.
Yeah, so I was just questioning if you guys had one.
I'll ask Doug.
That's
about it.
That
me.
question.
That may be ours. I
Nope,
mean,
that's a completely different
No.
thing. It has to be a board of residents.
A board of residents.
Yes.
The residents, okay.
Okay, I'll look into it. I'll ask him. He'll know about it though.
Okay.
Mhm.
But we haven't done anything like that.
What you got?
$116,112. That's just winter though. But you've already got the summer disbursement, so probably winter is all you want.
Yeah, I didn't divide them all. I'll look at it though. 116, what did you tell me?
116,112.
Okay, so I can fix that on there. I'll look at it. So far we got 53, but part of that is, summer taxes. So, okay, that gives me better to go
Does
by.
that give you the fire too?
Actually, you don't get a disbursement in the summer. You only get a disbursement in the winter, so that would be the correct amount.
Okay. Tell me, why
Does
can't-
that give us fire though?
59,709 for fire ambulance.
That's what we got last year?
Nope, that's what you'll get for 2024 winter tax roll. 59,709. I can look at last year's if you,
No, I'm good.
okay.
It doesn't really matter, cause this is what I'm gonna put back into this. Because I don't know why I had 220, but I figured, when we had 75% of a mill that we would get, from the figures he gave me, when we did this, he said it would be 75% of 120,000. From the figures that Kevin gave me from when we did this, but that's fine, I just want real figures, so we know. Okay, I'll plug those in there.
Wait. I only gave you the real and not the personal property tax too. So 128,960. That's probably closer to what he told you.
Okay. Alright,
And the fire stays the same.
okay,
Okay.
great, that's good help. Okay, so then, do you know what these, PA 48 fees are, and should they be on there still? We don't get anything, we didn't get anything from, I don't know why there's a $12,000 there. If we got that at one point or what, it just keeps carrying
What
over.
number?
PA 48 fees, 407, on the front page,
This page.
yeah.
407 PA.
Public Act 48,
What are those?
is that like the stuff that we get paid by the,
Trailer parks?
not that, no, the,
Mm-mm.
utilities, you know, there's
No, that's,
Comcast
we
and some
get
of those.
those are franchise fees
Okay.
and
Nice fees.
the Metro Act are those. But I didn't know what they were, we haven't got any, I didn't put them on this one, this time, because we never got any money in 24 for them, so.
48 fees. Ask Siri.
Okay, I can ask when I get home, I got Google.
PA 48 fees.
I can't remember.
Is that farming?
Is it the DNR land, the taxes you get in from the DNR?
I don't know. I don't know
It's
that.
not dispersed separately, it just is dispersed right in.
Yeah, I don't understand, I just wondered what it was.
That, it sounds familiar to me, like,
I thought it was a land act or a farm act or PA 48.
Was there PA?
We can Google it. and
Yeah,
see
we'll
what
have to
turns
figure it out. Anyway, I didn't get any money from it, we didn't get any money this last year, so I just left it off. I proposed, cause I'm like, I have no idea what this is for. So the permits and fees, we're at $1,025 and I put $1,200 for next year. And then the state revenue sharing, I know that we're at, it's not on here, but we're at 185 right now. And I know that we'll get another check at the end of February or into March, so that'll take us about to 220. And then, cemetery, I figured we'd just keep it at 18, cause it varies year to year. We might get more money this year still from that, so. I left that there. Interest, we should be proud of this. Look how much money we made in interest from changing the banks.
Changing banks,
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, that really, 5,000 is what I figured next year, because we still have another 2 months in this, but I know interest rate's gonna go down a little, so. And then franchise fee, we got quite a bit of money from that too. And then fire, that was, I'm gonna have to, I don't know why, we only got $675 for collections from fire and rescue. I have no idea, and we were gonna say something, I forgot to.
yeah.
Because that should be more than-
Then they could just peter off, and we can hardly ever get any, so.
Yeah,
That's a
well, we
pretty-
gave him permission to go to court and everything else. I mean, that's nothing, so I'm gonna have to figure out what that is. And then miscellaneous, I just put 2,000, I have no idea where that's gonna come from either. And then the roads, so this is gonna be different than what I got on there. And then our budget's definitely gonna change for this year if we give them a check for the tanker before the end of February.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't bill us till March, it still will be in this year.
It'll still be in
Yeah.
there.
I wanna add this together, cause I changed those two. So the new total would be 457,569. How about it?
457,
569,
Say it one more time.
excuse me?
Can you say it one more time?
457,569. I have to figure out what it means for you. I still think that's some kind of.
Is that the Metropolitan Extension Telecommunications right away? Is something like that?
What is it?
Metropolitan Extension Telecommunications right away oversight?
Yes. That's what that is. And then the franchise fees are what we get from the utility company. They pay us, well, the year before last, we had like $12,000 or something they gave us for some reason. We had, it just, it's, and then like every other week I get some letter from them that they're trying to do something else, and you can go to all these court hearings and everything. It's crazy, it really is. But, okay, so we wanna go to expenses. So, I raised all of the salaries up by 3%.
and I looked at deputy treasurer, it's got 23 cents on it, do you really want that?
No, I like to round them.
Muffle that up there a little bit, make
Yeah,
that zeros?
it's just how it came, so we can do zeros, that's fine. I like to do zeros too, but,
It's gonna be kind of
yeah, so then,
a
my
pain.
question about the next one, the sexton salaries, I don't know what he's gonna say, if he comes in to sign that 3-year contract, if he's gonna want more money or what, but we'll see. He'll let us know, and then we can think about it if we decide we wanna do it on our own, because, it's it's on call all the time, so we'll just, we can think about that one. What we wanna do with that. Payroll tax, I tried to figure out on the payroll that we have up there, it doesn't include any election workers. Do you take taxes out on them? I didn't think you did.
No. They normally get a 1099 and he printed out W-2s for them this year, right?
Well, that's what I wondered.
I was really,
And there's nothing on them except what they made.
right,
Do you have to do W-2s for some reason? I can't remember what it was.
You have to do W-2s for some reason with them?
well, he's always given me 1099 for the
The tax
election
people?
workers. Yeah,
I didn't think they had W-2s.
except for one, and that was Jane.
Jane got a W-2.
And Jane got a W-2 and now everybody's getting W-2s.
Maybe the law
Terry
changed.
wanted one.
So maybe the law changed, I don't know. Either way,
I
it's
don't
the
know if the
same.
tax person can look into that just to remind us what that's about.
Yeah, we can ask Travis. I just
There
talked
was
to him.
something.
It's always a change, it's
Mhm.
constant. Okay, so that's what that is, payroll tax. And then, 1,200 on border review, I'd have to figure out how much it would be for everybody, cause we meet twice a year, 2 meetings, and then we have 2 days, so. It's pretty simple. I didn't get anything from Doug that said his went up at all, it's still the same as far as I know, I didn't get a bill or anything saying that he was.
If you wanted more
Yeah.
zoning administrator.
And Board of Appeals isn't met, I mean, I just left that empty.
The meeting expenses after you're able to pull out of,
That's what we did.
to make the
Right,
$50
yes,
thing
yeah.
work out better, so
Yep,
coming
and
out
it
with
doesn't,
trustee
it's
thing.
not included, I don't think the planning has their own,
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's what we got, that's what it was this year, was 580, so, yeah.
and Board of Appeals, I thought Board of Appeals was gonna meet once this year.
He hasn't called you, has he? That's what Doug told me, and then nothing, but last time I talked to him about it, he said they never came to him with the paperwork or anything,
Okay.
so I don't know if they
So we don't
dropped
need to
it.
put
so
anything
far.
until maybe one comes up and then we'll
Right,
just have
because
to
it's
add it.
been, we haven't done anything for the 4 years I've been
A long time,
supervisor.
no, it's been a while.
So, yeah. Okay, ordinance enforcement, $1,400, I just went off of what we have already. Supplies also, we're right there though. So we're right there, so we'll see, there's hopefully
I
we
don't
stay right
have
there.
anything on my list to buy.
That's
so-
what I thought, you said today. And then I just cut the election right down to 7,500 because I don't know, if we have election, it won't be big and, you know, anything coming up.
Right.
For a little one, you would get paid out of that for sending out absentees and stuff, would be just a little bit. When you said White Pigeon's having a,
Yeah,
Milk.
but those are pre-stamped and all goes through the state, we don't pay.
we don't have to pay for that, so there
We
shouldn't be
don't pay
much
for that anymore.
going on with that.
Yeah.
White Pigeon pays for it and you just have to move.
I don't think, I mean, my hours,
Or just absorb
just
into
mine
this,
out.
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
And then our contract with Kevin is for 3 years, so it's the same amount for next year. And the cemetery expenses, 3,000, cause we really don't see anything big coming our way unless we have a storm or something.
Yeah.
We haven't planned anything, no fencing or you know, there's roads on here too if we wanted to do those roads, but I just left it there. Postage. Fire and rescue, this is the number he gave us on our budget. Which is a lot of money. The audit was 5,500 for the last couple of years.
And you look at that fire and rescue and that's not even half of the fire and rescue really.
What?
Because there's the village on Florence also, so that.
It's
fire
crazy.
department.
Yeah, but his total for all three of us together is,
Yeah, this is just our part of it.
yeah,
That's
it's
true.
just our part of it. So the assessing and tax, again, what we were figuring 25,000, which will be about the same, won't it? And you think the assessing and tax will be about the same every year?
I would think so. That went up a lot this year, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it did.
But
Yeah.
postage went up, paper went up, and everything went up.
Yeah. So I just put 25 in, which we just did that tonight with the one we had.
And I don't
Which-
know
which
about
one are you talking about?
BSNA, that was.
Assessing and tax,
836.9,
yeah,
and it's at 15,
well, we're at 25,
so now we wanna go,
because our real is 24,
okay.
the actual is 24. And then the attorney fees, you know, we don't have any attorney fees, this is all through Doug,
Right,
so.
unless you call them and ask them a question.
I
that's
haven't.
About,
And I had, the attorney for the building was only like $200 through the realtor, so I just had them do it. Because I knew it was cheaper than going
Yeah,
through
I
Roxanne
haven't
and,
contacted them.
huh?
I haven't contacted them.
No, it's all through Doug, so we'll just leave it 25 and see what
Yeah.
happens there. And then the community contributions, the other $300, who do we give that to? Was that to the,
it's domestic assault.
yeah, domestic assault shelter? Did we do that? Cause it doesn't say we did.
Normally we get a bill like in March.
Yeah,
Okay,
we would've if,
okay, so we'll leave that the same as that, right?
yeah,
4,500 direct and,
yeah,
okay,
I don't know any reason to increase it at this point.
okay.
Yeah, 'cause what do we pay the village, for,
45 is to the village,
yeah.
and the
Correct.
other 300 is supposed to go to domestic assault.
Yeah.
And apparently we,
And they
Did
keep
it do
wanting us to pay 1,800 or something like
yeah,
that.
and it's suggested that we pay domestic assault, they do some percentage of this, that, and the other thing, and they say our part is this, and we've, through the years, have opted to pay them $300 a year.
The first time they ever sent anything, the guys wanted to give them $25.
Oh, yeah.
Ray and Jamie, and I was like, okay, no,
Mhm.
this is not what we're gonna do. But they were like, $25. Okay, printing and publishing, I put 1,100 in there, cause for some reason I think we only did 610 for this year, so I just brought it down a little bit.
Brought it down, yeah, that's fine.
I figured insurance, as far as we know, will be about that. This is our workman's comp that we just paid, so it was 5,500, was it 5,200 or something last year when we paid it?
I think so.
That's what I'm thinking too, and it may go up, we may have to change this by next month, because we don't know what it's gonna be. They'll
Why
bill-
is it only $55 in the actual? Cause
On
the
the
big bill
insurance?
hasn't come yet, what, on the
1426 is the actual.
insurance on number 910?
Yeah, it's 1426, did you get a new one? I gave you a new copy.
That's okay.
That's my problem.
You got a new one too.
Look on the wrong page.
Because we just had to pay this time, like today, so
Mhm.
that's why I changed it.
Okay.
But it's 1426, and that is our, workman's comp.
Workman's comp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Utilities, I figured from what we've had so far, I just kinda did a random multiplication to come up with that number. And the software, I figured we wouldn't probably be buying much, cause we got the new ones.
Right, the only thing I want is office.
Equipment,
Software. You said equipment and software.
the only thing you want is office, yeah, okay. So that's $300, it's $99 is what we were looking at, wasn't it, $99 for the Microsoft, yeah. Well, the Microsoft and the, QuickBooks, that'll cover it.
Okay.
And IT expenses, $1,500, what I figured, cause that's the one that's every month, right, the $89 or whatever. Okay, repairs and maintenance, we don't know. I just did the 5,000. And then miscellaneous, I put $5,000, I don't know why there's 17.5, but actually, on the budget, it says 75,000, because when we transferred money from one bank to another, it went in there for like $74,000.
Yeah.
So I didn't include that, cause it's just a transfer.
Mhm.
And then down here, 3,000, cemetery roads, township roads, 40,000, cause that's what we agreed to do.
And that's Dickinson, all right.
Dickinson.
Okay.
I never know with Winding River, I don't, cause the budget on it, I don't know, I've never realized if we should put that in a budget or not, but.
You have to go way back and look, I can't remember.
Yeah, we have been doing it, I mean, it was on the one I took over, and
Okay.
plus, I thought that I'll put an amount in here after this month, because they're gonna have a bill for this month.
Uh-huh.
Especially if we get what is it,
That's
4 to
what
6
plowing,
inches
right?
of snow,
Really
yeah,
4 to 6
plowing
inches.
out there, and then we put it on their taxes,
Yeah.
and it comes back. And then equipment, and that, I take it this was, computers and stuff, Marcia?
Yes.
Equipment,
Yes,
I think so.
Yes.
right. So what do you think? Should we just do the 3,000 again to be safe, and then if we don't use it, we don't use it?
Exactly.
Okay,
I think that was computers and print.
Something could go wrong.
yeah. Building
Yeah.
expense, this is what we put into it so far, and the only thing that I can think of that we wanna do this next year is to get the water thing, which I think is only like $800. To get the water filter for the water, we talked
Water
about
So
filter.
we just bought a whole house auto system for less than
$200, well, that's even better.
All I can say is I'm glad, at least your water's not brown.
No, we have our own well and everything here, so if we put $1,000 in there, that would probably take care of that, cause that's the only thing we talked about.
Is that a capital improvement, you're saying?
No, it's, building expense.
Building
Yeah,
expense,
that's
okay.
gonna be an expense
So
on
The
that.
capital improvement will be the sign,
The sign,
Mhm.
okay.
which,
Should be coming.
oh,
Oh, no more information.
oh, I got an email from her today. And I'm a little upset with her, cause you know, when we gave her the money, we gave her half down, almost $7,000. She told me 6 to 8 weeks, and how long ago was that, in October?
Probably, yeah.
And I remember I said to her, you probably don't do this in the winter, she goes, oh, we do it all the time, 365 days a year. Okay, so then the week after Christmas, I call her, when are you gonna, how are we coming with the sign? Oh, 4 to 6 weeks. So we're at that 6-week period, and today she emails me, we're gonna bring the sign in 6 weeks. And I emailed her back, and I just told her that, and she was talking about calling Miss Dig, and did I know where the sign went? I said, I know where the sign went, I'm gonna put a flag out there closer to the time you're coming. Second of all, Miss Dig is only good for 21 days, so I suggest you wait to call Miss Dig till you know you're gonna come. And I can't remember it, oh, in 6 weeks, really? And then I sent it back to her and she didn't get back to me, but I was like, really, this, I hate this, just tell me it's gonna be 3 months, I'll be good, you know, but this,
Did she say it would be done in 6 weeks? or
it'll
would
be
it
here in 6 weeks.
Originally, that's what she said?
That's what she said today,
Right.
yeah, so
So
we're.
back in the day, what did she say it would be done? in
Yeah,
6
she
weeks?
said it'd be here in,
Oh.
6 to 8 weeks, when I paid her the money.
I was gonna say, 'cause it is done, now he just needs to get here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in 6 weeks, cause I told her, you gotta tell me so I can get the electrician here, cause he wants to wait till right before they're coming. So, let's see what happens with all that. Okay, so then the ambulance subsidy is exactly what they quoted us on our budget, on what they gave me. And then we'll take off the fire equipment, cause that's going into this year.
That should be this year, yeah, now it's this year, I gotcha.
So we'll take that off in there.
So you take that off?